I love questions like this. This is, to me, a very straightforward question. I call this a chart of points question because literally we're just given a chart of a bunch of points. Now, if you don't know function notation, you might not recognize immediately, but you have x's and y's. F of x is equal to y, and so this is just following some normal rules of lines. Now, I don't really care about the other stuff about lines, like the slope or the y-intercept of any of these. I could figure it out, but there's a much easier way to do it. We know that if we have some points and some equations, we should use my favorite strategy, plug points into equations, right? The reason this is such a great strategy is it doesn't require a lot of thought. You just plug it in and see what happens. Now, of course, the SAT is going to be a little tricky here because what they're going to do is if we take that first point, which we should use first because it's the laziest point, we can maybe fall into a trap, right? Because if we put that in, so f of x is 5, and then 2 times the x coordinate is 1 plus 3. Well, 2 plus 3 is 5. That works. But you can't just pick A and be done, because if you keep going, you're going to see that all of these choices work. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 is equal to also 4 plus 1. That works. And 5 is equal to 5 times 1. They all work for the first point. So that's not a coincidence. They're doing that on purpose because they know that some of you are too lazy, right? Laziness in the SAT can be good, but there's a line where we cannot cross. And so right here, just getting the first answer that works and moving on, that's the kind of laziness that is not allowed on the test. We always need to try everything because we know that the SAT is going to set these traps up for us. So we have to make sure we're on the lookout for them. It's mean that every choice worked with that first point, but it's not the end of the world. Now we just do the second, right? And it's still not so bad. We have a calculator if we need it, but we shouldn't. But let's take a look. 13 is equal to 2 times 3 plus 3. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 3 is 9. So no, that does not work. B, 13 is equal to 3 times 2 plus 2. Well, that's 6 plus 2, which is 8. So 8 is not 13. So that's wrong as well. 13 is equal to 4 times... Oh, I messed up here. This is 3 times 3. That's 9 plus 2, which is 11. And that still doesn't work. But 4 times 3 plus 1 is 12 plus 1, which is 13, which does work. So there we go. That seems good, but remember, we already got fooled once at the beginning. We should still try D and make sure. But 13 does not equal 5 times 3 because 5 times 3 is 15. So that leaves us with C, and that's the answer. Now, look, is it a problem that we tried this other choice at first? No, this just happens. Like, you shouldn't adjust your entire SAT strategy to avoid this kind of stuff because it doesn't happen very often. But it happens often enough that we always need to go through every choice and just be certain that we've got the right one and they're not pulling this kind of trap on us. It's really easy to avoid just by a little bit of thoroughness, and it does not take that much time. Just be thorough, show your work, and you'll be fine. You won't fall for this trap and you'll get those points.